Just about everything in the Elder Scrolls Online will reward you experience in the game so that you can continue leveling up as you play. But there are some methods to grind XP so that you can level up your characters faster, or maybe even get to a CP level that you're looking to achieve. In this guide, I'm going to go over the best ways to farm XP, all the ways you can stack in-game bonuses, with events. Make sure you watch the entire video so you know all the details and can pick the best XP farming method for you. And as always, if you subscribe to this video, that really helps me out so I can keep making more videos just like this. Let's get started. First things first is, what are the XP boosts available in the game? Well, a lot of times there will be events where you can get a 100% boost to your experience in the game just by doing absolutely nothing. So keep an eye out for these events. The next one coming up is the New Life Festival. There's usually an XP bonus there as well. Now, if there's not an event going on, don't worry, there's still plenty of other sources that you can use to boost your experience. The first are these experience scrolls with varying 50%, 100%, or 150% boosts. You can usually get them as daily rewards just from logging into the game. You can purchase them with crowns or endeavors, but honestly, I would recommend not purchasing them or using your crowns on this at least, as they usually drop from events, the daily rewards, and sometimes you can get them as a Twitch reward as well. Another option is, if you don't have any scrolls, is to craft the Sigic Ambrosia or the Ambrosia family recipes that I'll throw up on the screen here. These can give you the same 50, 100, or 150 boost. Just note that they do not stack together, so these are the only two things that will not stack. So something to keep in mind, use a scroll or the food. The next thing you can do is to have training gear on. The training trait can be added to your armor and weapons, and you can craft gear for new characters. I would recommend doing a level 10 and stick with that. You can also add in level 20, 30, 40, etc. as you level up, and you shouldn't really need to craft anything higher than level 10, but if you're having trouble with any of the mobs, then it could be time to upgrade your gear. And then of course you could have a CP 160 set as well if you would like to grind CP. This training boost gives you different percentages based on how upgraded the gear is, and this is another great way that will stack with the other bonuses to earn some extra XP. I would also recommend using the Heartland Conqueror set because it increases the value of your weapon traits. So you essentially get double value from the training trait you have on your weapon. And also the Twiceborn Star, because this 5-piece bonus doesn't degrade as you level, and Mundus Stones are something that we boost even in endgame content. Another really good option is Adept Rider because it gives you permanent Meteor Expedition, and since new characters are really slow on their mounts, this will help you get a boost and travel around Tamriel really fast. Another piece of gear that can help you get more experience is the Mora's Whisper shoulder piece. Now this is a mythic item, meaning that you need to collect the leads available if you have the High Isle DLC. Once you have all the leads, this mythic will automatically form, and you can equip it as your shoulder piece to get a 15% monster kill experience boost based on how many books you have read in Shaldor's library, which is unlocked with the Mages Guild questline. You can also have ESO Plus, which gives you a 10% boost to all experience in the game. So this is a nice perk to have if you're able to purchase ESO Plus, but not necessary to grind XP. Last but not least, you can use the Ring of Mara with one other player so that whenever you are grouped with this character / friend, you can earn bonus XP together. The Ring of Mara has been a daily reward before, can be purchased in the Crown store, so check that out if you're interested. Another passive bonus is you get a 10% boost in experience if you are grouped up with one other player. The more people you have besides one person does share XP, so to have the maximum amount of a boost, you want to be grouped with just one other player. But if you have more people, you still get shared experience, so it is beneficial to have groups, especially for some of these methods if you're looking to grind fast. Now that you know all the ways that you can boost your experience gained in the game, let's get into the methods on how you can best get experience. First up are all the base game options to grind XP. I wanted to start with base game because these options are available to everyone, no matter if you just have the base game, ESO Plus, or some of the DLCs. Now I have to mention one of the most popular methods to grind XP is running the dolmens found all over the base game areas in Tamriel. Now the most popular is the Alakir Desert. A lot of people are grinding these areas even when there are not events happening. So if there's not an event happening, check out the Alakir Desert. They're all located very close to the Way Shrine, and you can get some good gear here as well that still sells for a decent amount of gold in the guild traders, or if you just want it for yourself. Now if there is an event going on, I feel like Alakir is a bit too hectic, and I actually like to run in Auradon or Shadowfen or even Deshawn because the anchors here are very close to the way shrines as well, and there's usually not as many people running, so it's easier to get hits on the bosses and ensure you're getting the most XP out of the dolmens. Because not only do you get XP for completing the dolmen, you get XP for defeating the enemies there too, so you want to make sure that you can get hits on them so that you're getting the most XP out of this farming method as possible. Next up is farming public dungeons. Public dungeons have typically harder bosses and ad pulls than in the overland, but you can typically solo these if you have a decent build on for DPS. Now, a lot of the base game public dungeons have great ad pulls and bosses that you can run around, pulling the ads, killing them all, and then defeating the bosses as well. Usually by the time you've made the circle around the public dungeon, the ads have spawned back in the beginning, and so you can continue this circuit, picking up gear from that zone, as well as a sky shard and a skill point from the public dungeon group event. So I really like this option because you do get skill points as well, and you can hit all the dungeons and the public dungeons in each of the base game zones so that you can get skill points and still earn XP at the same time. Now DLCs also have a public dungeon, and a lot of times they have some kind of bonus fragment or shard that you can pick up to combine into a non-combat pet or costume. So a lot of times I will also pick a DLC where I want to grind some of these items and get some bonus XP while I'm doing it. Now back to the base game, there are a couple other places that you can just farm from pulling ads. A really popular location is in Craglorn, which is Spellscar. There are a ton of Atronox here, as well as some other NPCs that you can pull into groups and kill them for a large amount of XP. There is usually a couple people running this, but if not, you can always group up with your Ring of Mara friend or just another player and grind some XP here as well. Another great place that is popular are the Skyreach Catacombs, which is also located in Craglorn. Now this is a group dungeon, which in Craglorn means that they have a little bit harder ads than you would find in a typical delve. However, the ads here are soloable if you have a good build, and they spawn pretty quickly, so you can make your way around the circuit, kill all the ads, and then they should be spawned back by the time that you have reached the beginning again, making this another great ad pull to get some XP. Another great option that you can still use in the base game as well as DLCs is to run your daily normal random dungeon. Now you only get the experience boost from the first random that you run, but if you group up with a low level toon, you'll get a fairly easy dungeon since that's all that they have access to. So this is a great way to get that boost fairly quickly, and you can pop your scroll towards the end, especially if you have the quest, as you'll get a lot of XP from turning in that quest and from defeating the final boss. Now if you have your scroll on already, that's totally fine because there are ad pulls and boss pulls and you get experience from them as well. So no matter if you have DLCs or you have the base game dungeons, you can run your random every day and get that XP boost. Or if you're more into PvP, there is the daily battleground option as well, and you can do this in a group or solo, especially with the new battlegrounds that were just released in update 44. This could be a fun option to get some extra XP as you're trying out the new battlegrounds. Now on to some more options that will require you to have DLCs or ESO+, so just keep that in mind when listening to this section. One of the best ways I think that there is to level up and gain XP is to turn in your daily quests. Now the best way to do this in somewhat of a hack is to do a bunch of daily quests beforehand, so if you know there's an XP event coming up, or if you have a scroll and you just want to take advantage, pick some of the dailies in the zones you would like to complete them in, do the quests, but then don't turn them in. Once the event is active or you're ready to turn in, pop the scroll and then turn in all of your quests at the same time before the scroll runs out. This will give you a huge amount of XP because turning in those quests is where you get most of the XP. However, if you want to keep doing dailies during an event, this is not a bad way to earn experience as well, as you're typically going into a delve, killing a world boss, or hitting a world event. The world events, world bosses, and delves are all going to have enemies in them, and you are going to be able to get XP from these as well. So this is still a great option to run, but for your initial event kickoff or using a scroll, you can turn the quest in all at once, getting extra XP in a short amount of time. Now, a lot of the things that I mentioned previously in the base game also apply to DLCs. There are public dungeons, 4-man dungeons, and world events that happen in the DLCs as well that are different from the anchors. So if you're looking for something new to try and you have a DLC, check out these versions there to change it up and still earn XP while you're playing the game. Another really popular option is to run the Black Rose Prison Arena, either solo or with a group of friends. The first round of this arena grants you a lot of experience from the ad pulls as well as the bosses, and once you finish the first round, you can reset by disbanding your group, waiting 15 minutes after you leaving the instance, and then going back in. Or you can switch to a different character, and this will switch the instance as well. So you can run this repeatedly, getting a couple of rounds, also getting some good gear while you're doing it, and you only need to have the Murkmire DLC to have access to the Black Rose Prison Arena. Now, there is also an arena in the base game. It's Dragonstar Arena. I think this is still another great option if you're looking for something different to run. You can run the Dragonstar Arena, again, either solo or with a 4-man group of friends, and get some good gear from here as well while earning experience. You can also run the solo Maelstrom and Veidstrand arenas as well if you're looking to do something different. You'll still get a ton of experience and some good gear out of these as well. I think a lot of the arena gear is still relevant in the end game, so you'll be building out your sticker book even if you're a newer player, or if you're looking to get the gear, having the XP bonus on top of it is a good incentive. I know I, for one, do not love arenas, so I usually only go in if I'm getting something else out of it, like this XP boost. Last but not least, there are a couple of ways that you can grind XP without having to do combat at all. And it is, you guessed it, crafting. Turning in your daily crafting writs is a great way to get experience as well as gold. And so you can do this every day during an XP event or while you have a scroll pop in order to get some experience here. Note that some of the bonuses don't apply since you're not killing an enemy, so you won't have as much stacked here as you would for some of the other methods, but it's still a really great way to get some XP fairly quickly. You can also do master writs for a massive amount of XP. Every time you turn in a master writ, you get a pretty good experience boost from this, and you can stack it with scrolls, event bonuses, anything that is not combat based, as I mentioned previously. So this is another thing where you can do several master writs. You don't have to have them active in order to complete them. You just have to have them active to turn them in. So for example, if you have a bunch of jewelry writs, you can craft all the jewelry ahead of time, head on over to Rawless, and then turn in all the jewelry after you activate the writ from turning the previous one in. So this is a really good way to stack them. You can craft all the items you need right before an event with an XP boost, or right before you pop a scroll, and then get a huge amount of XP. This is probably one of my favorite ways to level new characters, since you can use the provisioning, alchemy, and enchanting writs on characters without having to worry about leveling up their skills too much, since the woodworking, jewelry, clothing, and blacksmithing skills take a little bit more skill points and time to level up. That's all I have for you guys today in this video. I hope you enjoyed learning how to farm XP with me. If I missed your favorite method or you have something else to add, please let me know in the comments. I love hearing from you guys, so keep the comments coming. I also want to thank my members. Thank you so much for joining my channel. I really appreciate the support. It helps me make videos just like this. If you would like to join my channel, head on over to my page, click the join button, and check out the exclusive perks you get for becoming a member. If this video helped you, you can also like the video and subscribe to my channel. That helps me keep making videos just like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.